Hi, I'm Jeannie Cody. I'm a research nurse, and I'm going to be presenting week 4, and our topic today is wrapping up and moving forward. Each week you've been presented with different learning activities. All of these activities have been based on the cognitive model. Through research, we know the cognitive model says our thoughts, feelings, moods, and behaviors are all related. Over the course of this last month, we've talked about each of these concepts and how they relate to one specific behavior, which is walking. Today, we're going to pull it all together for you and give you some strategies to use. And then we will meet again in 2 weeks for a booster session. Healthy change can start anywhere. Let's first start by reviewing the cognitive model, which is a diagram available on tab CBI. The cognitive model is broken down into our thoughts, our moods, our behaviors, and our biology. Life is a series of events. Our responses to events can start anywhere in this model. If I'm running up the stairs and I get out of breath, I might have the thought, am I having a heart attack? That can be accompanied by emotion of fear and then a behavior. I'm going to call 911. I go to the emergency department and get a workup, and it turns out I've had a panic attack. In this example, that whole cycle started with biology, running up the stairs and getting out of breath. This led to thoughts, I might be having a heart attack. It created a behavior to call 911, and there was an emotional reaction of fear. Everything in the cognitive model is connected because change in one area will shift everything. Healthy change can also start anywhere on this model. There are 2 entry points for making changes in our life. We can change our behavior or we can change our thoughts. Our first session discussed changing our behavior, making activities more rewarding, and through setting SMART goals. In the second session, we talked about ways to change thoughts by thinking more broadly, considering multiple alternatives, or to check the facts. We identified thoughts that are helpful or unhelpful. We try and change unhelpful thoughts into being more helpful. We can recognize when our emotions are pulling us to act in a certain way or making us think in a certain way. We can check the facts or act from the outside in. We act toward a goal. So you've set your SMART goal and hope that over time that shifts the emotion, or in the case of what we're doing here, that it affects your physiology, your biology, so you feel less fatigued. Now it is time for you to reflect on these concepts as they relate to the ultimate goal of increasing steps. What you have found helpful in increasing steps in your life. What has been helpful? We have talked about using action words. Now we want you to commit to action. What SMART goal can you commit to between now and when we meet for our booster session in 2 weeks? Next, what's the likelihood you will set and strive for your SMART goal? How likely do you think it is that you will do this? What things will increase the likelihood of you completing your walking goal for the day? What are some strategies we can talk about today? So to wrap up this week pulled together all the information from the previous sessions, how thoughts, feelings, behavior, and biology are tied together. We reviewed the last 4 weeks' key points and strategies. To work on this week's ideas, you will be asked to do some homework. There again are 3 parts to the homework. The first part is to think about what have you found helpful in increasing your physical activity steps. We would also like you to consider these things. How will you set your goal for the next week? What is the likelihood that you will do this? What may help you increase the likelihood? What are the downsides of not doing this? What are the upsides of doing this? What are the downsides of doing this? The second part of the homework is to set your SMART goal, and this will be for the week. The third part of your homework is to write in your activity log every night. Also record other activities you do and make a note of any sleep issues you may have had. Write down the number of steps. There's also a place where you can write down the other physical activities. I will meet with you on Tab CBI to go over the homework as well. You can refer to this video at any time for ideas. The key points of this video are also listed on Tab CBI for you to review. We will meet through Tab CBI in 2 weeks. For the booster session, we will present an additional session with concepts from the cognitive model. See you then.